We just got a green screen. We just got a green screen. We just got a green screen. I wonder what we'll talk about. Avengers Endgame. Oh man, that's some bad glare there. Avengers Endgame. On this episode of Wasted Opinions.
Heavens to Betsy, my name is CountryBoy.
I'm LewisLightning.
Oh, whoa! I'm MussKeg.
Whoa, what are you thinking? I'm a level 38 death captain.
Hey, look who it is! It's the porno guy!
I'll enjoy it, don't get me wrong. Let's just agree with all each other's picks and we like each other.
Hey fans, Avengers fans, Wasted Opinions fans, movie fans. As you might have guessed from the intro, we are talking about Avengers Endgame, the somewhat end of the first three phases.
It really should have been the end.
Yeah,
It's called Endgame.
Yeah, it really should.
What feels like the end of the MCU at that point. So we're doing a big review on it today. We've all seen it years ago and a few times since then.
Yeah.
But I am LewisLightning, and with me we have...
You have MussKeg on the spot.
And on the other side...
I'm Professor Hulk, country boy.
Professor Hulk.
I forgot the movie.
I mean, everyone is in this movie, so I don't know how we're really gonna go through, like, do we go through every actor, or how
I
we
rewatched
this?
this. I watched this recently, and I'm like watching the credits at the end of the movie. I'm like, holy shit! Every one of these names could be the lead of their own movie, and yet they have like a billion names.
And speaking of leads, we'll lead off with a shot.
There we go.
Almost forgot about it.
Yeah.
You might not even see it with this green screen.
This pink
Pink Whitney. It really blends into the green.
It blends into that green screen.
colorblind.
How do they work? No. Where'd you guys see it?
In theaters?
Well,
I want to say like the North Edmonton.
I think it was North Edmonton. I want to say Manning,
Because
I'm
what
pretty
year
sure-
did it come out in again?
2019.
2019. So the reason I just asked this quick question just to lead into it is I remember that one of the big things going into Endgame was if you didn't see it right away, you were so trying not to see spoilers.
That is.
This is
so
probably
many
the
movies
most I've
nowadays,
ever
yeah.
tried to avoid a spoiler
Yeah.
was with this movie.
And that's what's great about this movie is they didn't show too much of the trailers.
Yeah.
And like even like in Infinity War, when they showed you a trailer, some of that shit was bullshit. Like on the trailer, it wasn't even really
Hulk
in the
running
movie.
when he was never in there.
Exactly.
Yeah,
or
yeah,
even
yeah.
in Endgame, the suits that you see them wearing, like the trailers, wasn't the suits that you see them going back in time in and stuff like
The
that.
amount of money they can have to just try and trick people.
Exactly.
But so the thing that was unique for us is my daughter was about like 1.5, 2 years old, and Cass and I both wanted to see it. So what we had to do is she went and saw it by herself at like the 7 o'clock show while I watched the kid, and then she came home and I shifted. I was like, I saw it at like a 9 o'clock, 10 o'clock showing, so it was really late when I saw it. Still a decent amount of people there, but that was how badly we were trying to make sure we didn't see any spoilers by just like whatever you could, just not to.
Well, I don't think there's been as big of an event since Infinity War and Endgame.
Yeah.
Like we've had big movies like Oppenheimer and Barbenheimer, you know, that was a big thing, but not to this level. It was not like this. This was everybody and their mother wanted to go see these movies.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Like, was it Endgame or was it Infinity War that was competing with Avatar for the biggest revenue, like box office revenue?
Endgame, yeah.
Yeah, I think so. I think Endgame ultimately has the most.
I mean, each one of those always seemed to go.
Well, they did like a
more right,
re-release
you know,
and
Yeah.
But like, one thing I'll say about Endgame too, just as we kind of slowly get into it, one of my favorite trailers, I'd say, out of all the Marvel movies that I've seen. I mean, there's been lots of good trailers, but it sticks out to me. The very first teaser one where Stark's out in space, he's talking to his helmet, recording a message for Pepper
Potts.
and I loved that trailer. I thought it was good. It was just a teaser, and there wasn't too much to it. If I remember correctly, do they not end the teaser with Ant-Man waving at the security camera saying,
we hadn't seen him since.
and that was one of the big theories everybody had was,
how are they gonna bring everybody back, sort of thing.
Yeah.
I don't really remember those teasers. It was so long ago.
Yeah.
Yeah, I do. I remember that was one of the trailers.
Yeah.
He was waving at the camera in the.
I do remember that.
And this was one of the first movies too where I started to see all these theories come out and what was going to happen in it,
Yeah.
which, to be perfectly honest, has something that's gone too far for me in the MCU. Is there's too many people that pay so much attention and know the history and the lore that it's almost obvious what's going to happen for a lot of them, and so
I'm disappointed when they're right. Yeah.
Yeah.
I want it to be something.
because everybody
that
was
I
saying it
haven't
was quantum realm stuff and Ant-Man, right?
Yeah.
So yeah.
So yeah, I mean, I don't want to get into it. We've talked about everyone in the cast before in previous reviews.
Yeah.
We got RDJ, we got Chris Evans. Chris
Hemsworth, yeah.
Oh, I was trying to think of Chadwick Boseman.
Scarlett
I was going to say
Johansson.
Chad, and I was like, what's not Chad?
Chad.
Chadwick Boseman. Scarlett Johansson, Zoe.
Ruffalo. Did you say Ruffalo already?
I didn't say Ruffalo.
Well, yeah.
Zoe Saldana is what I was going to say.
Yeah.
Chris Pratt, Tom Holland, Tom Hiddleston. Like,
Yeah.
It
gotta
just-
go through them all. I mean,
It's Samuel L. Jackson.
Karen Gillian.
Was he in Endgame?
Yeah,
He's,
was,
yeah, at
yeah,
the end.
okay.
I mean,
Especially the funeral.
Is that the
anyways.
funeral?
Yeah, right, yes, yeah.
Chloe, or Smulders, Colby Smulders.
Yeah. Agent Hill. Yeah.
That kid from Iron Man 3.
Yeah, nobody like, who the fuck is this kid?
Well,
Why is he at the funeral?
He grew up so much.
Exactly. It was
Not
like
every,
3 years, and he's
and
like
you know,
this big.
John
not every character was the same. I mean, Fat Thor was a take.
Well, I think that I bet you the Russo brothers probably wouldn't have leaned in that direction if it hadn't been for Thor Ragnarok. I feel like they kind of tried to change Thor in that way to make him more comedic. I bet you he wouldn't have been Fat Thor or the dude, like Lebowski sort of is what they called him. I bet you they wouldn't have done that so much. And you know, I kind of wish they didn't because Ragnarok isn't my favorite.
Yeah, he could have. Well, I love it, but he could have went that way without him being Fat Thor. Right,
Yeah.
we can agree on that.
Well, they kind of did it with Infinity War, where he was still comedic.
Yeah.
Without being.
I would have been
Fat Thor.
fine with him like being like actually depressed. Like he was depressed,
Yeah.
but it was more in a comedic tone. And I wish
Yeah.
he was just like depressed Thor. I wish it was just that.
But thinking like as we walk through the movie, what'd you think of the scene right off the bat? They find where Thanos is. Thor goes.
So the thing right off the bat, I'll say the very first thing is actually Hawkeye with his kids and his wife.
Oh,
That hit. That hit.
Good bring. Yeah.
There was no music whatsoever. It was just silence. And
The whole movie.
You could almost hear the wind.
oh,
blow.
I got chills watching. I was like, holy crap! This is where we're starting the movie, right at the dusting of everybody.
And they're trying to almost like make you think of the things you don't think about, right? Because everybody thought about the dusting, and you thought about the superheroes.
Yeah.
No, I'm very guilty of not really thinking about the people around the superheroes. Yeah.
So like because of that scene,
Yeah.
when you see Hawkeye later on as the Ronin and he's like just
Yeah.
this guy's killing freaking
Yeah.
triads or
John Wick and-
whatever Yakuza.
Yeah.
I can understand that. Like this guy has nothing to lose. He's just out there and he's just cleaning up. And why not?
Could have done without the haircut.
I think he looked badass. Shaved sides. And...
I was gonna say that kind of relates to like the people that you don't think about, but just like how after there's a time skip. Spoilers for everyone. The time skip, and then there's like Cap doing that support group. Like that was you know, people. How do you live past that? Having all these people. Everyone would have had someone that they knew that
Exactly.
was dusted, and it's like, how do you deal with that?
Exactly.
Yeah.
It's like 5 years
That
of trying to bring things back to normality.
that was a real down to earth thing. The scene that they had there.
Yeah.
But you were saying about.
Well, I was just thinking as we talk about this one of the ways, because there's so much to talk about this.
Yeah.
What I think we can do is, as we go along, we'll kind of just almost go through the movie and just mention parts and things that we saw as we went along. Like, I mean, after they start getting the ideas together and Scott Lang shows up and he's eating the peanut butter sandwiches and everything. The concept of then they go to Stark, right, and see if he can help, and he's living a real normal life. He's got a kid.
Yeah.
He hasn't really lost that many people. He's happy.
He came out pretty good.
He's happy. He's like,
Happy,
no,
sir?
I'm not helping you guys.
Yeah.
Stark, you're being a little selfish here.
Yeah.
I was gonna say he lost Roddy, but no, Roddy was fine.
Yeah.
I'm trying to think.
He came around, and I will never fault him because the guy took maybe a day to sit and think about, should I risk
Literally,
losing my kid?
it shows you like in the movie, like the only real reason why you see him like think about doing it is because he saw Spider-Man, Peter Parker,
Yeah.
and he like tugged at his heartstrings because he had a picture of him with Peter
Yeah.
Parker
He's doing the
like,
dishes. Doing the
Yeah.
dishes, yeah.
So I was like, he did lose someone, but I mean, it's kind of sad that you needed to have that connection.
Yeah, I wish I wish we would have actually seen that photo being taken to at some point. It didn't be this movie. It could have been in a previous film. But like, he just pulls this thing out of his ass from somewhere. And it's like, oh yeah, got this photo of Peter. It's like, oh.
I always like the realization moment when he's like telling his computer to run the simulation just with these changes here, and all of a sudden it's like
whatever
success.
Yeah.
And it's like, holy shit. That was
And he
a
like,
good
falls
thing.
into a seat.
Shit.
Yeah.
And then his daughter says, "Oh shit."
Yeah.
Yeah. No, it's I will say like tone wise, like the first movie in Infinity War, it's like a party. Like I'm on board. I'm like, we're jumping from story to story. Everything is just fun. I'm so excited. This one was like the day after the party. It felt like people are hungover. People are waking up the next day. You know, it's kind of sad, and you're feeling sick. It's not nearly. It's more depressing. This is a much more depressing story.
Yeah.
But then it does get into a really good mode when you said, Scott Lang shows up, and they do decide to do the time heist.
He brings the fun.
Yes.
Like Back to the Future.
No, not Back to the Future.
But quickly too, just because you could do this at the end, but a lot of people, for me, Infinity War, Endgame kind of go together, right?
Oh, definitely.
100%.
So, but they are still two separate movies. Myself, I still say I liked Infinity War more, but that's because I've also been one of those guys who doesn't like the end of things, and so I tend to like the middle story in a lot of trilogies, if you will. So I lean a bit more liking towards Infinity War, where it seems like everybody that you talk to, they lean towards like an Endgame more.
Oh, I would say the opposite.
I think Endgame
Pop culture wise,
it's pretty divisive. It's pretty split. Actually, I've seen online a lot of people are. I'm an Infinity War fan myself, but it's pretty close though. I'm not like a hater of Endgame.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
I have to go back and watch Infinity War. After watching this, I was like, maybe I don't like it as much as I did, but do I like Infinity War much more than this?
That's the question.
So I have to go back now and look at it.
I even have to watch myself. I was gonna bring up a point of like, one of my favorite moments is when Cap catches the spear, and then I'm like, wait, no, that's Infinity War, not Endgame. So
Yeah.
So I mean, we could go onto the time heist. We brought it up.
Sure.
All the different ways they gotta try and get the Infinity Stones. That's a cool
We've
concept.
only got 3 of these left, so you gotta be really careful with them.
Yeah, we only got one more trial left.
I don't know. Like it's basically like the best ofs, right? Like you're just going back to all these different moments that we know.
Yeah.
Like the high like Avengers. The first Avengers has like 3 stones, so we spend a lot of time there.
Yeah.
The first Guardians of the Galaxy was a great movie. Spent some time there.
Yeah.
And then I don't know.
I guess a bit of Thor.
Thor 2 is not a great movie.
Yeah.
But we go back there anyway.
But what's cool is you get to bring back characters that have died off. Like Rene Russo's character.
Russo.
That was actually a heartwarming one when he sees his mom.
Exactly.
Thor.
Exactly.
He's
He's like tearing up because he sees his mom.
Yeah.
And it's the day that she died in Thor.
It almost made me sad that they comedic that part a little bit with him.
Well, I'll get to that.
But, But sorry, but yeah, talking about the time heist portion of it and everything.
Here's a question.
And it started what MCU's become now by doing the time heist and the concept of timelines.
Split divergence and all that. Yeah.
Was Natalie Portman at all in this film? Like they have footage, but did they film it for this?
I think I remember hearing that it was footage from the Dark World that they used, because even like when you see Rocket, you just see like her back. It's not her. So like just before that, you saw her. I think that was literally recorded.
That's called cost savings.
I know you saw her back, but I was like, I don't know if that's actually like.
I don't think it was.
Like, filmed originally
from years ago. I do remember hearing that. I think she wasn't actually in the movie herself.
She's also a pretty serious actor. I mean, I think at that point was she even Love and Thunder, but she wasn't really even planning to come back to Marvel at that point.
She was a little bit like disenfranchised.
Yeah, I think she was also
a serious actor.
Well, she was also like the damsel in distress, and I don't think she liked that because she's very feminist.
Yeah.
So I don't think she was a fan of her character being like that. Yeah. That's probably why she came back for Thor: Love and Thunder, because she got to be hero.
Yeah.
But even like when they go to Morag and you get like to see Chris Pratt dancing around again.
Yeah.
Like, I think that's all the old footage except for the part where they obviously like they knock him out. It's like that's new, and I'm like they did that pretty good. It's hard to tell. If he changed his body physique or his hairstyle or anything changed on him, but it was really well done.
It was really also a cost-saving thing. If you really think about it, doing the time heist, it's like when you see sitcoms that have gone on for a while, or TV series that have gone on for a while. And eventually what they start doing is you just see those
clip shows?
3 people.
Oh.
No, like 3 people are an arc in their story, and they never really interact with everybody else until the other. They kind of did that with the Time Heist, right? Like Gamora was, or not Gamora, Nebula was with.
Nebula.
She was with Rhodey.
With Rhodey, yeah.
With Rhodey, and
Yeah.
wasn't somebody else in it?
No, it was just the two.
Well,
of them.
originally they show up with Hawkeye and
Black Widow.
Black Widow,
Black Widow, yeah.
they take the ship.
Yeah, they go for the Soul Stone.
So they did do that, where they're like splitting everybody into their little things.
So that's one way to. Yes, you can record all these different sections of a movie separately. From, that you don't have the whole big ensemble.
Exactly.
At all
Scheduling
times.
conflicts and everything like that.
But on a related note, it's like those are some weird teams. Like, why would you send?
I thought the exact same
like,
thing. Yeah.
Why did Hawkeye and Scarlett Johansson? I always keep on saying Scarlett Johansson. But they take the ship and they fly, even though they've never been to space before until this part. They don't even know how to operate the
They
ship.
get dropped off somewhere, and then Rhodey and Nebula would take the ship. Exactly.
Did anybody not go on the Time Heist?
No,
I think the whole group
of the original cast they went.
Yeah, the whole cast.
Yeah. At first I was thinking Hulk didn't, but then I remember no, he did. He went back
to Avengers,
to New York. And I'll say this. You know, one thing you guys, I know you specifically have lamented is like how kind of comedic the MCU started to trend, especially towards. But I gotta say, I know you guys hate Ragnarok. I like it, love it, but it is goofier comedy. I found that the comedy in this one was actually a little bit more on par with what you saw in like the first Avengers. So like, you know, Hulk having to pretend he's the raging Hulk is.
But I'm also not a fan of the first Avengers.
Yeah, fair enough. But yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, and I'll say this one, it wasn't too comedic for me. Like this one, like I said, it felt like the Hangover the day after. It felt serious. It felt depressing for a lot of the movie.
You find out they don't really know Doctor Strange that well because they go to see him at the Sanctum Sanctorum.
Yeah,
no, he's not here. Like
you're 5 years too
early. It's like. You guys
she does
about Doctor Strange.
Sends him out through, which I thought was cool.
That was cool.
Takes him out of the box.
That's like his main thing, having the strength. You take away a physical portion, Hulk's got nothing.
Well, speaking of the heist, was there a portion of the heist where that you really liked the most?
I don't know if it's my favorite part, but I do like the Hawkeye and Black Widow portion where they have to sacrifice themselves. And they're both trying to sacrifice themselves.
And they're fighting each other to do it.
I really liked that. I thought it was pretty cool.
The score was awesome at that point too. The music.
And it was sad. You know, you see like Scarlett Johansson fall, and he's like, "You son of a bitch," or whatever he calls her.
But that's separate from everything else. Like they cut back and forth between the Avengers stuff, like Avengers Tower in the first movie, to like Morag, where Nebula and Rhodey are there getting the orb, and they cut back to Thor and Rocket. That all happens like all in the a 20-minute span.
Yeah.
And then after that, then you get Black Widow and Hawkeye together. They have their own story, uninterrupted, where they do that whole thing. And it's like it is more meaningful.
Yeah.
But like, you didn't cut the story back and forth like the other one.
I'll say one thing that kind of bugs me with this movie is how they didn't seem to give a shit about screwing up these timelines at all. Like, Thor taking the hammer away from past Thor, that's fucking him over.
Well, in that timeline, it's a different timeline.
I know it's a different time.
I know.
I'm just saying, you're fucking that Thor over by not letting him have his hammer during.
And this is the stuff that I hate about this is because now you get. Sorry, Luke. Go ahead.
I was gonna say, but they're supposed to go back and put the stone back.
Put the stone back,
which would mean that none of that happened.
The stone, but not the hammer.
But that's my issue with this. Is this whole like timeline spreading out thing?
I don't know if he brought the hammer back. He was carrying it.
Cap took it back.
I know he had it with him. Did he bring it back? I don't.
I mean, I assume Cap.
How did he get it back in Thor: Love and Thunder though?
Oh, it was broken. That was the original one that was broken.
Okay, it was pieced together. I couldn't remember how it got. Okay,
the one you see in the.
But then also like the Guardians. The fact that Nebula and Gamora are no longer going to be in that story. Thanos, all those characters no longer even exist in that timeline.
This right here is probably my biggest issue.
It's a problem. I agree that's a problem.
I'm just saying, like, I know they're fucking up a different timeline. It's not their own. But that fucking sucks for that timeline.
Those timelines are supposed to be pruned when he puts it back.
Yeah.
This is the issue, though. It creates these types of arguments, and if you ask me, I hate those types of arguments because it's just people like speculating and then getting into like the logic behind it, and that's
That's something that they tried to cover in the movie. If you want to go along with it, it's like, well, when you go into the past, that's your future because you are now experiencing that. So it's the present and everything that happens now. It's like, yeah, I get what you're saying, but I mean,
why don't they just go back to baby Thanos? You know?
Yeah.
What about your on the time heist?
I mean, it's definitely the most meaningful thing with Black Widow and Hawkeye. But I do like the Avengers Tower stuff just because you can see all these different
perspectives.
Yeah. And it's mostly for me, it's like the Cap stuff, like when he fights himself.
Yeah,
that's Captain America's ass.
That is.
Or the elevator.
Or Ant-Man when he's like, that's America's ass.
I
could do this all day. Yeah, I know.
He's mad about it.
I think that's a great ass, Cap. And you know what? They did a cool thing though. That one makes sense because they're like, I found Loki.
But then Loki disappears.
Yeah.
That totally fucks up that timeline.
Yeah, I don't really like how all that happened. And I don't like when they cut back to the very beginning when all of them are standing around Loki in the tower and they're like whatever they said, and then they immediately kind of cut it and it's like Iron Man's like, okay, enough posing, whatever. It's like, you made it seem like they were being dumb when they knew it, and it's just like, well, now it just looks stupid.
I mean, I agree with you. That's generally the part I like too, is the perspectives.
And then Hulk can't take the elevator, so he has to go, that felt like a little bit.
That was
forced.
Why doesn't he just jump out the window? Like he does it all the time.
Yeah.
I kind of liked. I agree with you. That was probably one. But just to say something else, I really did enjoy Cap and Iron Man or Stark when they go even further back in time.
Into the 1970s.
It's very Inceptionist, right? But
Yeah.
to the 70s when they're kind of breaking into
He sees his older
the
his
base
dad.
and he sees his dad
Howard
and all
Stark,
that.
yeah.
But he sees Peggy and
Yeah.
To me, it really undercuts like the whole point of like, oh, we need to go back to get these Pym particles. Like, but you could just go back like 5 years and get Pym particles 5 years ago when they were still there and use them.
But they didn't know they were there.
Yeah, but they also needed to get the other
Scott would know something.
I saw this funny meme though that I really like quickly, just today actually, ironically, where Captain America and it's like Cap went back in time, saw Peggy was cheating on him because she's kissing somebody else or whatever. Heartbroken, he finds a new love and it's Yvette Nicole Brown, I think is her name, from Community in the elevator.
Yeah.
And then he goes back years and gives his shield to his son. Because that's not true.
What do you guys feel about Cap at the very end of the movie, old Cap? Does that make sense?
No, it doesn't. Does not. There's so much stuff that doesn't make
Because they said that you're going into
a different
paths.
timeline.
Yeah.
It should be a branch.
But, so are they retconning the fact that Peggy was married to him this whole time?
I mean, they are.
But maybe a different universe version of him that went back in time and did it.
Like,
so are they retconning that? Because I know in what was it in Infinity? No, sorry,
or Winter Soldier.
Winter Soldier. She says that she married someone from his platoon or something, or
it
he
was
saved.
I want to say it was like a French guy or maybe Swiss. Yeah, another guy.
We never met him though.
Yeah.
So maybe she's just saying that, and it really was Cap from a different
But
timeline.
there's so many questions because it's like, okay, so when she died in Civil War, and so like he's been living in the house by himself. Like, how does he fill out like, you know, a census or social security or whatever he's doing? Because Cap's an honest guy. I don't think he would just sit there and steal from the government.
And the thing is, like, if he went back in time to the 1940s, is he done being Captain America? He doesn't want to do any more saving? So he just like lays low for 70 years or what?
Doesn't
He
make
earned his
sense.
rest.
That's what I'm wondering. Like, does he just do nothing for 70 years?
I would have been like an awesome sports athlete. That's what he should have done. Gone back and been like
just cracking
they would
homers in
recognize
baseball.
baseball, one season, football.
Yeah.
Just
They would totally recognize him. Like,
Yeah, exactly.
he did all those commercials for like.
Yeah, they already know his
I guess,
face.
yeah.
But no, I feel like they did that for the fans and kind of like
It is. It's fan
His
service.
brother Brian Rogers.
It makes you feel warm inside for sure. It does.
And the worst thing is like because they kind of set it up that he was with her great niece Sharon, and like you know, he thought that might go somewhere. They kissed and everything in the movies, and then no, he just said, "Fuck it, I like your aunt better."
Get out of here.
As you guys all well know, I'm Team Stark, not Team Cap. And to answer your question, the thing that bothered me the most was that he got to have the happy ending, and Stark got the sad ending. So Cap gets to live old age, have his life, be
I'll
Peggy and
say
everything.
he at
like
least got
this.
to see his dad one last time, which is kind of like happy
Wow.
send off for him, I'd say.
No, his kid did. That was the better part would have been.
He gave his daughter.
Roger
a future.
should have sacrificed himself. He said, "Give me those stones."
He was able to give his daughter a future. He has a daughter. He has a wife. He's planted the seeds. He's got everything he needs, and he should be happy with what he's set up.
On a more meta level, then he had that argument with Cap in like the first Avengers, where it's like, "You're never the guy to make the sacrifice play."
Well,
So then, if he doesn't have that, then Cap was right the whole time. I mean, it's not like they say it specifically that, "Oh yeah, he's doing it," and that proves it. But and the whole time, he the whole thing is even and Pepper's like, we could save everyone. And he's like, yeah, we could. And he's like, but I can't remember he said something like, we don't have to, or if they knew or something like that. He's like, yeah, but it feels like you could save him. She says, like, he was again avoiding the sacrifice of himself, like whatever he had. He didn't want to sacrifice, but he went ahead and did it. So in that way, like in a meta sense, yes, they never explicitly say it, but
Well, yeah.
I do agree. Like, I just find it's totally cheapened now. We're bringing Robert Downey Jr. back anyways.
Yeah.
So kind of just moving along. So the heist has happened. Everybody's back. Maybe we just skip to what probably many people would call the most iconic scene in all of MCU history.
I think there's two really iconic scenes.
Okay. What do you think? You know what I'm going to say for this one.
Well, you go first.
Well, no,
you led into it.
Okay, well, the most iconic scene that I think everybody says happened in MCU history was on your left. Everybody,
the portals.
everybody
Yeah,
returning. Everybody returning.
I feel like that is the more iconic one.
But what were you gonna? Well, I mean,
Cat picking up the hammer. It's also pretty awesome.
piss me off. All right.
That happened before the
Why does Captain America
That has seeds
have to
planted.
be the best guy?
Those seeds are planted. I mean, I guess
I
you
know
could
it's
say
planted in two.
on your left was planted
Yeah.
in
Dude,
something
but
too.
him picking up the hammer was in
He nudged
Age of
it, yeah,
Ultron,
just slightly nudged it in Avengers.
But it's
yeah.
like it's such a sweet payoff to see like a hero suddenly getting a power upgrade that we kind of knew was there. It was hinted at.
I loved Thor's reaction to it. Like when he was like,
Yeah.
I knew it. Like he was actually excited that he was able to hold the
Thor
hammer
should have
and
got
not
to
mad.
keep the hammer, and he should have got the axe.
But even in the fight, at one time he's like, no, I want the big one. He
I
said-
know. Actually, there is a part about the whole Iron Man when that whole sequence happens and he gets the hammer, blah, blah, blah. But I love when he's getting up after fighting Thanos and he's just hurt. Like, most hurt you've probably ever seen Cap.
Yeah.
His shield's broken. Which, I guess, so is Thanos' blade made out of vibranium too or something?
I think it's probably even stronger.
Yeah, so anyways, and he like cinches in that.
see that the
you
cut
can
in his
see the
arm
cut,
does
right?
that, right?
And he like cinches it in.
Like he grits his teeth as
Yeah,
he does that, and
yeah,
like,
yeah.
there's like blood in his teeth.
Yeah. Like that was a cool the thing. It was neat seeing him fight with the broken shield and with the hammer
Yeah.
and you can almost argue he used the hammer more cool than Thor did.
Well, he's like throwing lightning from the ground, sort of.
That bugged me. That's the part that bugged me about the hammer. Thor is the god of thunder. The ability to control lightning comes from Thor, not from the hammer.
What does the hammer say?
Those who are worthy can wield me.
No,
He gets the power
it
of
says,
Thor.
You get the power of Thor.
Oh,
That's what it says.
no.
Exactly.
Then Thor shouldn't have his
Like
lightning
when
powers.
Beta Ray-
Then
Ray
Thor
Bill
shouldn't
gets it.
have his lightning powers.
Whatever powers Thor has, they have.
Yeah.
So whatever he had, lightning power or anything else.
Exactly. When Beta Ray Bill gets it, you'll see. You'll see when Beta Ray Bill gets it in the future.
Yeah.
They say that Thor's power is
He's not the god of hammers. He's the god of
Just
thunder.
because he has the power doesn't mean anybody can't utilize it when they have the hammer. They can. They can use his power.
You guys are just
Which
such
they're
cap,
worthy.
You guys are cap weeps, all right?
And that's
all there is
that's
to
why
it.
Vision didn't have powers. He picked it up.
Yeah,
But he's a robot. He's like an elevator.
Yeah.
Doesn't
Fix
matter.
it.
Exactly.
There's no lightning from it. He doesn't have the power.
That was in Ultron, right? When he just
Yeah,
puts it out
yeah,
and
yeah,
watches it, it's,
yeah.
which was a great point.
I can't wait for Vision to come back. However they're gonna do that.
I liked him a lot in
White
One Division.
Vision?
I liked him a lot in One Division.
White Vision?
Yeah.
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 And he's not in this movie at all. But we're
Yeah.
talking about him.
Yeah, he died at the very end of it.
But yeah.
So yeah,
the
let's go back to the portal
Portals.
scene though, because I mean that was incredible.
Yeah.
And the charge, the epic armies battling, coming together, and everything like
And you
that.
get everyone. And like,
Yeah.
and,
Ant-Man charging through and like coming out of the wreckage in like his size.
and that's kind of what Wong says. Like, you wanted more, and then you do get more with Ant-Man coming out after that point. Like,
Yeah, when he
that's
bursts
so
out of the rubble
awesome.
there.
I
Yeah.
think we all talked about it when the movie came out though. There is one part about that sequence that I didn't quite like, but I know why they did it.
I know what you're saying.
What do you think, John? Is there a part that you didn't like?
No, I'm not saying I didn't like it, but I just felt like
Was there a part that bothered
I just
you?
felt a little like they didn't need to do it.
What are you talking
When
about?
all the women got.
no, that's not what I was talking. No.
Hey. I love
that guy.
I was
love
talking
me
about
the women.
I was talking about Professor Hulk.
I love all the women. Don't get me wrong. I love me some
Yeah, he
women.
loves him in the kitchen.
But it was too obvious having all of them like land right next to each other. Not a single man. All these women.
The art of subtlety just went out the window
It's like,
there.
what are they doing here? Why did they need to do that?
He was actually referring to like the Captain Marvel part where she just takes up the whole ship herself. And
Oh, yeah.
she's like so OP.
Yeah, come on.
That was the part.
Yeah.
Not all the women showing up together.
Yeah.
Funny story. Fun story quickly just about Captain Marvel. So, segue. My in-laws have watched MCU movies, but they don't like watch them religiously, follow like the story.
Yeah.
They just watch them when they're on. They like that one. So they had not seen Captain Marvel, and then they're watching Endgame.
Yeah.
And I guess they texted my wife, and they're like, "Who's this gold bitch?" Because they had no clue who Captain Marvel was, and she just shows up and saves them. It's like, what?
Yeah, if you've never seen that movie,
Yeah,
pretty
yeah.
That's the thing is you should watch all the movies before this to understand everything.
That's why I
that
didn't see Fantastic Four so early.
But like going back to all the women showing up together. You know what? I'm not opposed to that, but don't make it like stand there and say we're gonna do this.
It was such a wink at the camera. That's all it was. That's why I didn't hear it.
If they didn't say like, well, she's not alone and all that line or whatever, they just fucking did this stuff and showed it. It'd be fun.
Because that whole sequence was actually cool.
It was, absolutely.
Throwing the glove around, Spider-Man.
Yeah, tossing Spider-Man, catching him, and like it was awesome.
Working together.
Yeah.
It reminded me
Just
almost
two
like
on
the
the
first
nose.
Avengers when they're battling in the streets of New York and Iron Man's shooting at Cap's shield using the video game.
Oh, yeah.
Like that's what it reminded me of. Cap sending her up to jump on just Chari. Like that sequence was actually better at it almost even in Endgame, just using everybody. And it was really a good feeling seeing, all your favorites and such come.
Oh yeah, so having all the people come back. Oh man, good warmer thing of the heart.
Yeah.
I do I feel a little bit too one-sided. Like I was waiting for like someone big to like punch one of the Avengers or their friends.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
never seen it.
That's,
But you never
that's the
see
bad part about Thanos being the only real bad guy with any credibility on the other side, and the rest is just Chitauri. Like,
Well, there was also
his generals.
Yeah,
his generals.
What do you call them?
But they-
Come on. I mean, one of his
Black
generals
Mar.
went out the thing in Infinity War.
They were better in Infinity War. They were real threats
Yeah.
in Infinity War.
Exactly.
Here they're just slightly more difficult cannon fodder.
So I mean, I've always felt like it'd be better if but I know what they do. They probably feel like there's less villains out there to use. They want to save them for the things.
Well, I mean, I don't think most villains are going to team up with Thanos. Like, oh, you're going to kill half
of us?
Half of us?
Yeah, yeah.
Might be me. Oh.
Can you save? Why didn't Thanos get snapped? Question. Why did he get saved?
Yeah.
I don't think that was pure luck. I think he's like, whoa,
50-50 chance.
50-50
But for sure not me.
Yeah. No.
Well, that was like another thing when they're like, we can bring everyone back when they get the gauntlet
Yeah.
for them. And
then it's destroyed.
Hulk's like, I tried to bring her back. I tried to bring back
Natalie.
Black Widow. Yeah, Natasha.
What happened
Natasha,
when he had then he snapped? What happened when he did it? I
That's
can't
what
remember.
brought everybody back.
Oh, bro, that's what
That's
brought
why
it-
he's like all
that
burnt
brought it
up and like almost dead.
You're right. Sorry, that brought everybody back. Yeah.
Also, I mean, this is Infinity War 2, but like, I don't like that they made the snap a thing. Like, that it doesn't work unless you snap your
It's the
fingers.
only way to use it now.
Really, the gauntlet should be like, you have it, you can do whatever.
Also, I'm like, they never use it for anything other than snapping it. Like, they never use it for any other powers. I wish they had the gauntlet. They could, but I guess it blew up right away.
When he faces Captain Marvel,
he could barely
pulls
pull it when he had it on.
Yeah,
he
it's
put it
true.
on and he couldn't do anything.
That's true.
So.
But when he faces Captain Marvel, he pulls a stone out to use it. It's like, dude, it's already there. It's already there. You don't need to pull it out.
Well, and just because there's some things I want, but we could probably get to just like toward the end. I mean, obviously, him relaying the I am Iron Man line was awesome.
Such a selfish thing to say.
I wish he would have been like, I love you 3000.
Even though he sacrificed himself.
Yeah, and I mean that was so cool.
Love you 3000.
What a good
Thanos like, what?
And it was cool, and it was an homage to what they built, right? Because the first movie ended
The first
with that.
movie, yeah, that's what it was.
So that was so cool, and then obviously, then you get to the funeral scene, which is sad, bringing everybody back. I mean, the saddest part of the funeral scene is Happy sitting there with Stark's daughter. You know,
I'll feed you cheeseburgers.
Captain America's just having a time. No,
No, he wasn't laughing or anything.
he was old.
He's
He was
texting on his
banging
phone.
Peggy probably. That's why he wasn't, but
He didn't leave yet.
he hadn't left yet. I don't know. But he knew he was gonna be going back to
Which
banging
is-
Peggy, so he's like, "This is great."
I'm gonna be at the funeral.
Didn't he leave at the funeral, like at the side of the lake, right? Wasn't that the side of the lake?
Yeah,
He
was
leaves.
it that? Was it? I'm timeline wise.
Well,
Yeah,
it's
yeah.
still weird that they were.
It sounds right. It sounds like the funeral happened then. He did.
What
that.
happened? Talking to the daughter
Why
about
would they
get
move
you on the
outside
cheeseburger.
anyway?
Yeah, he was at the funeral, wasn't he? Yeah, he was there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But like, why would they do it there instead of like? I mean, the facility was destroyed, I guess. But
Yeah.
it seems like a weird thing to do at a funeral.
Get you all the cheeseburgers you want. That's good. I did want to bring up a couple like comedy moments that I thought were really fun in it. Like when Ant-Man's sitting there with his tacos, like just, and then Rhodey or War Machine like lands right next to him there, and he's like, "Careful, there's
Well, then the
someone-"
shit-
Normal size
Milano?
man.
Yeah, hey,
Regular size.
tiny set, regular size
size.
man, yeah. And then Hulk comes and gives him 2 of his tacos. Yeah, I thought there were some good comedy moments.
Oh, absolutely, there are.
That's it. The most memeable moment, I think, is no, I don't think I will.
No,
Just like
yeah.
that. I've seen that everywhere.
Yeah, well,
Yeah.
the taco's been memed as well too.
Yeah, it's true. Yeah.
Yeah, well, that's
Oh,
great.
awesome. It was
That's
a great movie. It is.
I mean, okay, I'm gonna say, do you think it has any weaknesses? Because I mean, we gushed over it for so
So
long.
no, I mean my weaknesses are the whole time bullshit of them like just fucking up the timelines. I hated that. I hate that, and I hate that it makes no sense. The Cap goes back, but he's still here. I didn't like that, and there was a couple little things like Thor like being drunk and fat. I didn't need him being the fat drunk Thor. You know what? You want to be depressed? Maybe he can be drunk. That's fine. But making him fat Thor, that was more for comedic. I didn't need the comedic part of Thor. I just like more serious Thor.
Cork's fine. He's always been comedic.
It's new Master 3000. He's calling me a dick again.
Yeah.
I was gonna say, to me, both the comedic, sure, the time travel stuff, it bugs me a little bit. I know they tried to explain it away, but it's still there. Maybe like 0.2% or something. Like it's still not right. But both Thor and I find Hulk is just too comedic for me.
Oh,
I was
you know
gonna
what?
that way to lead because
Yeah, I forgot about Professor Hulk. Yeah.
But no, I think we're saying one of my biggest issues with this movie and with Infinity War, they didn't use Hulk nearly as much as I wanted them to use him. They used him too much more as Bruce Banner than as Hulk.
Yeah.
Like it bothered me so much that we didn't get to see. All we saw of our true Hulk in Infinity War was Thanos kicking the shit out of him in a fist fight, which makes no fucking sense. Sorry. And then all you get is Wimpy doesn't want to fight.
It's
Hulk.
Banner in full size. That's all it is.
Banner can't fight because Hulk doesn't want to fight, and then you get Hulk, but he's like all the brawn, all the
I like that he did the snap and brought people
But he
back. I thought
didn't
that
use
was
the brawn at
badass
all.
that he did that.
Well, he's like, it had to be me. Or,
Yeah.
it's like it's
I
made
mean, the
for
gamma
me.
radiation that comes
Yeah,
off
yeah,
or something. It had to be him.
But I didn't like the part where he's just, I gotta act like the Hulk, so he rips his shirt off.
Yeah.
I
thought
pretty
that's
gratuitous. He's like,
It's dude. I know.
anyone could do better than that.
Yeah.
But that, and then also even the part where he's like sitting at the restaurant talking to them.
Yeah.
And those,
Hey,
dab,
yeah.
The only
want
part
me?
I do like that line. It's like, you want me? No, he's even saying he doesn't want me.
Yeah.
He's mouthing. He doesn't.
Yeah.
It's okay.
But that's more Paul Rudd than.
Exactly.
yeah.
It's him stealing the.
It could have been anyone.
Paul Rudd's the greatest comedic part of any of the MCU movies for me.
Yeah,
Ever, in my
probably.
opinion. And also, second, John, just to your question, what I hated, not so much about the timeline in Endgame itself, but it bothered me what it's done now. It's just made there's no stakes. There's no stakes for anything anymore because you can just go back and fix it, or we'll just, this is a different timeline that we're looking at and everything. So that's the other thing that.
Because now, you're right. They could just go back at any point and be
Okay,
like,
fixed it.
fixed it.
Yeah.
Exactly.
So
I also didn't like that Captain Marvel was so much more powerful than anyone. She's just like,
I don't know what she's
everything.
supposed to be though. From what I remember about Captain Marvel.
I have no issue with that. I feel like that should be.
Cap's got this vibranium shield that, to our knowledge, was indestructible up until this point. Thanos just breaks it and kicks his ass, and then Captain Marvel shows up, kicks
and
Thanos'
beats him in a
ass.
fist fight, and the Hulk can. I don't know.
But yeah, she beats like his ass like nothing. The guy who beat the Hulk, Captain America, Thor, and Tony Stark together, beat those last three together.
Yeah.
Like Captain Marvel can show up and he like punches her in the face at one point, and she just like smiles at him.
Yeah.
It's like,
She headbutts
Yes.
him. She headbutts him.
it just feels like, she could have probably, she took out her ship and all this other shit. It's like, maybe you went a little bit too much on that. Like dial it back.
A little OP here.
That's me.
kind of like Thanos speed.
I didn't mind
Fist
that.
fight.
I didn't mind that.
Anyways. And he didn't pay for drugs. Not once.
Meadows.
Okay.
Sorry.
I was like, is this
Not
something
even related. What does it have to do with this?
Non sequitur. Complete non sequitur.
Jimmy Cox walk.
Anyways,
Nothing to do with this.
So,
yeah.
I mean, do we have any, like, you guys have any numbers for reviews that you want to go through? Like,
I do.
Scores,
So when we talk about Back to the Future, my favorite is Back to the Future 2, and they go back in time and they rehash some of the stuff. But that works because they do stuff in the background and they don't affect the stuff.
Oh, okay.
This one, they affect a shit ton of stuff when they go back in time.
I definitely feel like you need solid rules.
Yeah.
I thought you were talking about like scores for the movie.
That's what I'm talking about.
I'm gonna get to it.
Okay.
So because I'm a big fan of time movies, I love that this is a time movie, but I also hate that it hampers itself and not following its own rules, it feels like. So it's not as high as Infinity War, which I gave it like a really good score. This is a 9.2 for me, which is still a really good score.
Yeah, it's still a good score.
It's a really good score.
This is where it always kicks me in the nuts twice on Sundays.
If you want time, I can go.
Well, no, it's just what I mean is I can't remember like what I ranked my favorite Civil War
research.
versus.
I know, I'm not doing it comparatively.
Yeah. So go ahead, use
So
your
for
time.
myself, I like the things that bother me are Thor and Hulk being too comedic, Captain Marvel being too OP, and then a little bit the time travel stuff. Like I give him credit for trying to explain that away, even if it was poorly explained.
Didn't follow the rules.
I give it a 9.0, flat 9.0.
That's good. That's
wow.
good.
I don't remember what I gave Infinity War. This is just on this movie.
Yeah.
I think you're giving Infinity War higher, I think.
So maybe I like it more.
Maybe.
And I have to go back and watch it. But
I think I'm gonna go kind of close to you guys. I'll probably have the highest of the three. I'm gonna give it a 9.3.
you don't like end things. You said you don't like.
No, I
endings.
know, but to be honest, I also knew that this wasn't the end because we still had more coming.
Boy.
And it wasn't the end apparently. But no, I'll give it a 9.3. I think, unless something else is worse that I gave a 9.3, then I give it a 9.4. My big thing is anytime I go to sit down, I'm always putting on Infinity War. I'm not putting on Endgame, and that's what I find.
You know, like I went into this thinking I was more of an Endgame fan, and I still don't know based on my reviews. I don't know.
I think
But-
you used to be. I remember you always said it was.
But I always thought like this had more action, and I don't know if it has more action. It definitely has more like it's a road trip back to these old movies, sure. But is it more action?
I'm gonna say
couldn't
I actually
remember.
think the action. You won't agree with this, but I think that if you look at climactic action fights between Infinity War, Endgame, and the original Avengers, I think even the original Avengers, I like the action sequence more so than Endgame with all the fighting in New York, with Ruffalo turning into Hulk and punching that. I think I actually like that more.
I do feel like time-wise that the first Avengers probably has a longer sequence where action is happening.
Yeah, because they almost have that break in the middle where they still don't see what's
But
happening.
probably Avengers too, because I remember that Sokovia fight took forever.
Yeah, that one we don't need to talk about.
We did talk about it.
I know.
Check it out.
Check it out, yeah.
Check it out. It's playing on the green screen right now.
Yeah, you get up there.
That's
the Lewis should put in the background when you can't remember what your review is.
Yeah.
They put all the reviews.
And then
all Craig's reviews.
Wrong. Anyways.
So, yeah.
Oh, nice. So that's
I agree. We need Savage Hulk back.
So yeah, and I mean, obviously this is going to lead into Spider-Man Far
The
From
real
Home.
ending of phase 3 or 4, whatever phase this was.
It's
for some reason.
3, I believe it's 3.
Okay, whatever reason,
Yeah.
that was the last one.
Yeah.
So, I mean, how much are you looking forward to Spider-Man after this movie? This gotta be at the top of your mind, like, but what about Spider-Man?
I probably didn't even know that 2 was the end of that arc when we went into it.
But no, so yeah, that's where we're gonna wrap up this review. I mean, we will get to Spider-Man Far From Home eventually. But where can we find you at?
Yeah, Twitch, Twitter, PSN, and TikTok.
TikTok.
I wanna see
It's a
what-
new app.
Yeah,
Twink Talk.
Wow.
I bet that exists. I bet it exists.
We're publishing that now.
As MussKeg.
I am the Lewis
No,
Lightning.
I wanted to use that.
I'm the Lewis Lightning. You can find me on Twitch when I am playing something. Probably Ghost of Yotai soon. And when I'm not
watch it.
If I'm not doing that, check me out on YouTube. The Lewis Lightning. That's all one word.
He's got a Dragon Age Origins playthrough on there. It's great.
and incomplete.
He hasn't finished it yet? Oh.
10 years ago.
I think I
14
lost
years
it.
ago.
Oh, okay. And I'm CountryBoy_9, also known as CountryBoy9er. Go ahead and check me out a bunch of different places like Letterboxd, Twitch, Twitter, and here on YouTube where I unbox a whole bunch of different toys. Check me out.
And we'll see you guys after the snap.
I hope I made it.
I can't dust us.
Just dust his
You
head
don't
off
have that.
green screen.
Come on. You don't have that kind of editing tool?
I was trying. The only reason I ever lean forward is because I'm worried my gut's gonna fucking hang out from the. I feel I'm always such an old man when I cross. I got the Joey.
I'm sitting here, my stomach's, my arms are on my
Resting
belly.
on your stomach.
Yeah.
That's what I mean.
Is that so good, or is it because we got a little bit on Craig's side? Or
You know the first episode's going to be the Halloween one that uses the green screen though, right?
yeah, but I mean, we're not gonna really care.